All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says success of indigenous nuclear submarine INS Arihant gives a fitting response to those who indulge in nuclear blackmail. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Shopian district of Jammu and Kashmir. Centre releases over 113 crore rupees to 6 border states under Border Area Development Programme. Campaigning reaches its peak for the first phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh. Festival of Light Deepavali being celebrated in Tamil Nadu today with traditional fervour and gaiety. Rest of India to celebrate tomorrow. And in cricket, second 2020 match between India and West Indies to be played in Lucknow today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that success of indigenous nuclear submarine INS Arihant gives a fitting response to those who indulge in nuclear blackmail. Receiving the crew at his official residence in New Delhi, Prime Minister said a credible nuclear deterrence is the need of the hour. Mr. Modi said,
अरिहंत की सफलता देश के लिए एक बहुत बड़ी एक बेमिसाल उपलब्धि है। देश की सुरक्षा के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा कदम है। अरिहंत भारत के दुश्मनों के लिए, शांति के शत्रुओं के लिए एक खुली चेतावनी है कि वे भारत के खिलाफ कोई दुस्साहस न करें।
Mr. Modi said, a strong India will be an important pillar for global peace and stability, especially in a world full of uncertainties and concerns. He said India's nuclear program must be seen with regard to the country's efforts to further world peace and stability. Prime Minister said India remains committed to the doctrine of credible minimum deterrence and no first use. INS Arihant has successfully completed its first deterrence patrol. This completes establishment of the country's nuclear triad. Expressing happiness at the Navy's feat, President Ramnath Kovind said the successful mission of the submarine is a landmark moment in the nation's security preparedness. Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said INS Arihant places India in the league of a few countries that can design, construct and operate strategic strike nuclear submarines. Home Minister Rajnath Singh, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and BJP President Amit Shah also praised the achievement. Information and Broadcasting Minister Rajyavardhan Rathore said it marks the completion of India's nuclear triad and ensures nation's safety and security. In Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists were killed in an overnight encounter with security forces in Shopian district. Security sources said arms and ammunition were also recovered from the spot. They said identification of slain terrorists is being ascertained and search operation is still on. The centre has released over 113 crore rupees to 6 border states as part of its plan to ameliorate the problems of people living in these isolated locations. An official said the amount was released to Assam, Nagaland, Sikkim, Gujarat, Rajasthan and Uttarakhand under the Border Area Development Programme BADP. With this, the Home Ministry has released around 638 crore rupees so far during this fiscal to the states having international border. The BADP covers 111 border districts in 17 states to meet special development needs of border population with a focus on the people living within 50 kilometers of the international border. India has embarked on a mammoth mission called Digital India, under which it aims to ensure that government services are made available to citizens electronically by improving online infrastructure and by increasing internet connectivity. Here is a report from our Kohima correspondent.
Under the Digital India Mission, Nagaland State Department of Information Technology and Communication is organizing various training programs from time to time. The Common Service Centers have established a robust platform of modern technologies to connect citizens to achieve necessary services like training, capacity building, registration, grievance redressal, technical support, and enrollment in government schemes. Digital India program includes various schemes like Digital Locker, e-education, e-health, e-sign and National Scholarship Portal. We interact with Teja from Kikwema village who runs a common service center in Kohima district.
Under the Digital India mission, government services have been made easy for common men, especially through the common service centers. My center acts as a delivery point for the citizens in collaboration with the State Department of Information Technology and Communication. My center offers services such as online registrations and applications for exams, PAN card applications and GST registration.
A digitally connected India can help in improving social and economic condition of people living in rural areas through development of non-agricultural economic activities, apart from providing access to education, health and financial services. Mengu, AIR, Kohima.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. Campaigning has reached its peak for the first phase of elections in Chhattisgarh. 18 constituencies will go to polls on November 12th in this phase. With majority of the constituencies going to polls in this phase are Maoist affected, the candidates have been provided security cover in sensitive areas. A report from our correspondent.
Holding free, fair and peaceful elections in the most affected areas of Chhattisgarh has always been a challenge for the Election Commission. Chhattisgarh's Special Director General of Police, Naxal Operations, DM Awasthi said,
काफी अंदर सुदूर इलाके जो कैंपेनिंग है, चाहे प्रत्याशी की हो, चाहे बाहर से आए हुए जो उनके नेता हैं, राजनीतिक दलों के, उनकी कैंपेनिंग हो, उसके लिए हमने पुलिस अधीक्षकों को निर्देशित किया है कि वो पार्टी के अध्यक्ष हैं, ठीक है, उनको ये सूचित करें कि जब भी कोई कैंपेन अंदर होता है तो पहले से बताएं, जिससे कि प्रॉपर आरोपी proper सुरक्षा व्यवस्था लगाई जा सके.
State's Chief Electoral Officer Subrat Sahu said adequate security cover has been provided to candidates on their demands.
सभी जिले के कलेक्टर्स और एसपीज को निर्देशित कर दिए हैं कि जो संवेदनशील क्षेत्र हैं उनमें जो कैंडिडेट जो फाइनल हुए हैं उनको उनकी मांग के आधार पर आवश्यक सुरक्षा जिस श्रेणी के लिए वो उपयुक्त हो वो स्थानीय तौर पर उपलब्ध कराया जाए.
Total 190 candidates are in the fray in 18 constituencies that goes to polls in the first phase on November 12. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
In Madhya Pradesh, 394 nomination papers have been filed so far for the assembly elections on the 28th of this month. Our correspondent reports that maximum 28 nomination papers were submitted in Rewa, while no papers have been filed in Burhanpur. More from a correspondent.
Chief Election Commissioner with his team of election commissioners are scheduled to arrive on November 13 and 14 to review preparations of assembly election in Madhya Pradesh. The commission will review Ujjain, Indore and Narmadapuram division on November 13 in Indore. And on the same day, a meeting with political parties will be held at Bhopal. The commission will review Chambal, Rewa, Shahdol, Jabalpur, Bhopal, Gwalior and Sagar division at Minto Hall, Bhopal on November 14. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Festival of Light Deepavali is being celebrated in Tamil Nadu today with traditional fervour and gaiety. Several leaders, including the state governor, chief minister and other political leaders, have extended greetings to the people on the occasion. People took the traditional sesame oil bath early this morning and visited temples clad in new clothes and offered special pujas. More from our correspondent.
Enthusiasm is in the air in Tamil Nadu in view of Deepavali. Deepavali highlights the triumph of truth against untruth, light over darkness, good over evil and knowledge over ignorance. This evening, within the permitted time frame, children and elders alike would burst colorful firecrackers, though the wholesale trade of firecrackers from their manufacturing hub in Sivagasi in the state has registered a significant dip as compared to previous years. The Green Deepavali initiative has gained more ground. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
Deepavali will be celebrated in other parts of the country tomorrow. In Uttar Pradesh, heritage city of Ayodhya is all set to witness grand Deepotsav celebrations this evening. More than 3 lakh earthen lamps will be lit to create a world record on the occasion. More from our correspondent.
Beautifully decorated Ayodhya city is eagerly waiting when scenes of Ramayana will be recreated and CM Yogi Adityanath will perform the ritual of Rajyabhishek at Ramkatha Sthal. This will be the second year in a row that the CM will celebrate Diwali in a grand manner in Ayodhya and lead the lighting of over 3 lakh earthen lamps on the banks of river Saryu to create a world record. Chief guest of the function, First Lady of South Korea, Kim Jong-suk, will also lay the foundation stone of Riverbank Memorial of South Korean Queen Ho. According to legend, she was a princess of Ayodhya who went to South Korea and married the king. Later in evening, all dignitaries will attend Saryu Aarti and Deepotsav at Ram Ki Paidi. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Metro services in Delhi will be available till 10 p.m. on Diwali from terminal stations. In a statement, Delhi Metro Rail Corporation said that on account of Diwali festival, the last metro train service will be at 10 p.m. instead of 11 p.m. from terminal stations of all metro lines, including the Airport Express line tomorrow. It stated that metro train services will run for rest of the day on Diwali from 6 a.m. onwards on all lines and from 4:45 a.m. on the Airport Express line. United States has said it is issuing waivers to allow the continuation of a nuclear deal with Iran. Hours after imposing toughest ever sanctions on Iran that ban most trade with Tehran, U.S. State Department said it is exempting projects set up through the 2015 nuclear deal negotiated under former President Barack Obama. In cricket, the second 2020 match between India and the West Indies will be played in Lucknow today. The match will begin at 7 p.m. Lucknow is hosting an international cricket match after 24 long years with the newly built Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee International Stadium making its debut. India defeated the West Indies by 5 wickets in the first 2020 international at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata on Sunday to take a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. The third and final game is slated to be held in Chennai on the 11th of this month. The China Open Masters Badminton Tournament will begin today in Fuzhou. The tournament will continue up to 11th of this month. The star shuttlers Kidambi Srikanth and PV Sindhu will lead the Indian contingent. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Sarabjit Kaur.
Thank you, Anuja. Dhanteras gets even more special with India joining the elite club, achieving nuclear capabilities in air, land and sea with INS Arihant. Successfully completing its first deterrence patrol has been covered by all the newspapers on its front page today. India completes nuclear triad with Arihant patrol, writes the Hindustan Times. The top front page news in all the newspapers today is the severe level of pollution in the Delhi NCR region. Delhi goes up in smog after sharp air quality index spike, writes the Hindustan Times. The Tribune quotes the centre, those violating norms to face legal action, avoid walks and exercise in morning and evening, says DNA. At the heart of the RBI government standoff, a suggestion by the Finance Ministry claims to manage fund with RBI. Government wants 3.6 lakh crore rupees from RBI, a third of its reserves. Central Bank says no, is a headline in the Indian Express. Amid face-off, government reiterates it won't ask Urujit to quit, says the Times of India, citing several instances when the two crucial wings responsible for economic policy have not shared the same point of view. On the tough new sanctions by the Trump administration targeting Iran's energy, financial and shipping sectors, aiming at crippling economy, the Statesman writes, U.S. sanctions on Iran kick in, India among 8 spared. Patanjali forays into apparel retailing. The Economic Times writes about Patanjali launching an apparel and accessory store selling sports, men's and women's wear brand under the name Paridhan. And finally, the Hindustan Times writes about the Indian Railways coming on the right track to bust Tatkal touts. In a first, user IDs, payment gateways and booking locations are being monitored by railways. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Sarabjit. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says success of indigenous nuclear submarine INS Arihant gives a fitting response to those who indulge in nuclear blackmail. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter with security forces in Shopian district of Jammu and Kashmir. Centre releases over 113 crore rupees to 6 border states under Border Area Development Programme. Campaigning reaches its peak for the first phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh. Festival of Light Deepavali being celebrated in Tamil Nadu today with traditional fervour and gaiety. Rest of India to celebrate tomorrow. And in cricket, second 2020 match between India and West Indies to be played in Lucknow today. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.